It's just fantastic. Captain's log, subdates 220510.1. 2 weeks and we end up processing our second quotations, famous and quotations person. It must be Christmas. Unlike last week's inmates though, this one has a fetish, and that fetish is not for humans. You're also a kids' TV presenter. This doesn't feel right. Hello everyone, welcome to the halls of InJustice. Today we welcome another inmate whose number I've forgotten like last week's. His name is Stephen Kish, and he is a cliché to an extent. When you think of kids' TV presenter or those involved in kids' television, what's the first thing you think? If the word is nonce, they have become somewhat synonymous. I prefer to think of kids' TV presenters as freaky weirdos that clearly have issues, mother and or father, where a vast number of them go on to commit horrific crimes, some of whom, thanks to the very company they work for, didn't actually get prosecuted for them until they passed away. The skeleton in my ISO cube here is Jimmy Savile, and that bugger molested a lot of kids. He was a part of a rather horrific ring involving children. Stephen Kish was also involved in a crime, not necessarily synonymous with kids' TV presenters, but it's another one of those horrific crimes that you can, if you are bored enough, associate with a kids' TV presenter, because clearly these guys, girls, others have issues, and they all need some form of assistance. In the case of Stephen Kish, time in the ISO cube should do him well, even if the Mickey Mouse criminal justice system of the UK doesn't recognise what he did as severe as it was, because they believe in their infinite wisdom that the punishment he experienced socially is enough, which I fundamentally disagree with and consider that a fair warning. When this is called Halls of Injustice, it is actually injustice. Because of coronavirus, the former officially amazing CBBC show presenter, his trial for what he had done was delayed until 2021. Somewhat interestingly, Stephen Kish runs a dog-walking company called Tales of Love. We'll get back to that in a moment. On the show Officially Amazing, what the premise was is he and others would try and set silly Guinness World Records, one of which includes the most farts in 30 seconds of a party horn, along with setting a benchmark for the fastest time to sort 500 grams of peanut M&Ms by colour, and the highest ever score in the world's biggest Pac-Man, which is a web version of the arcade game. In 2018, the police found 6 images on his phone. These images have been determined to be extreme pornographic images. So going back to Tales of Love for a moment, this all ties in, I guess. In these images, in an explicit and realistic way, people were seen performing acts of intercourse or oral sex with animals. The moment those allegations came to light, which he at the time denied vehemently, the BBC removed all episodes from the BBC platform, and no further episodes were commissioned of the show, although I do believe it was cancelled before the allegations came to light. Skipping ahead from 2018 all the way to August of 2021, so around the time some freedom was found. Yay, we're free everyone. Stephen Kish, realizing he was utterly screwed because, well, they had 6 images on his phone, he can't keep denying it forever, decided to enter a guilty plea of possession of extreme animal porn. So I guess now would be a good time to look at what UK law says about this before we get any further into this. Although based on what I'm seeing so far of the time we've gone so far into this, we don't have much to go on, and it's probably going to be short. Sorry folks. So because my Google foo was not up to scratch today, my apologies for that. I am relying on an article instead from JD Spicer Zeb Solicitors, Guide to UK Pornography Laws, where it says, is porn legal in the UK? Yes, you can consume porn in the UK as long as the photograph, film or other material does not fall within the wide range of laws and regulations on pornography and obscene publications. We're still a bit funny about, showing ankle, so if it's anything outside of missionary, chances are you're gonna get fined. So no speed bump, no doggy style, no reverse cowgirl, no blowjobs, we can't risk that, it's a choking hazard. And definitely no anal, because that is sinful. Now if we scroll further down, We have discussion on pornographic films from the Video Recordings Act of 1984 that was repealed and revived in 2010. It is interesting. You have pornographic magazines, which is linked to the Indecent Displays Control Act of 1981. Online pornography, where the UK in 2019 introduced a new porn law under the Digital Economy Act of 2017, which made it illegal to make pornographic material available on the internet on a commercial basis where it is accessible to under 18s. This was an interesting one because I remember the government at the time introducing a potential porn license. Not even a joke. But underneath, what is extreme pornography, which is where Stephen Kish resides? Laws were introduced in 2009 to protect those who participate in the creation of sexual material containing violence, cruelty, or degradation, who may be the victim of crime in the making of the material, whether or not they notionally or genuinely consent to take part. We, the government, want to make sure when you are having the oingy boingy funny time coitus, giggity, that you are as safe as you can be, because even if you consent, we can't be sure of it. The law is also designed to protect society, particularly children of course, from exposure to such material in case it encourages interest in violent or aberrant sexual activity. Nebulous. The relevant law is found under the Criminal Justice and Immigration Act of 2008, which makes it a criminal offence to possess an extreme pornographic image. So what is an extreme pornographic image? An extreme pornographic image is one which is pornographic, grossly offensive, disgusting, or otherwise of an obscene character. That seems also nebulous. Portrays in an explicit and realistic way any of the following: an act that threatens a person's life, an act that results or is likely to result in serious injury to a person's anus, breasts, or genitals, an act that involves sexual interference with a human corpse, a person performing an act of intercourse or oral sex with an animal, whether dead or alive, an act which involves the non-consensual penetration of a person's vagina, anus, and mouth by another with the other person's penis or part of the other person's body, or anything else, and a reasonable person looking at the image would think that the persons, or animals, were real. Well, we know which one applies to Stephen Kish, so let's keep scrolling down to the penalties for possession of extreme pornography. The maximum penalty for possession of extreme pornography involving necrophilia and bestiality is 2 years imprisonment, an unlimited fine, or both. Whether the sentence is longer than 2 years imprisonment and the offender is over 18, they will usually be subject to notification requirements, which includes the sex offenders register. So because Sizzling Steve changed his plea to guilty, we don't really have to concern ourselves with any form of verdict or trial, instead just going straight to the sentence. At Lewes Crown Court, Stephen Kish, Sizzling Steve, was sentenced to 6 months in prison, suspended for 2 years. Judge Rennie told the former presenter, "It is not only the law, there is always the potential for animals to be injured by what is done to them, or what they are made to do. It seems clear to me your thinking and aspects of behaviour are disordered. You used to have your own slot on TV, and yours was a familiar face on CBBC for a number of years. This has been taken away from you, and you may never get it back. What a dramatic and, I have to say, self-inflicted downfall. There will be many people who enjoyed watching your programme and enjoyed your work, and will feel betrayed." Now, my view when it comes to the sentence is, I would not have suspended it. Social consequences should not in any way impact a prison term, but I'm a renowned dick. I'd sentenced him to 2 years being chased down by a bull until the bull has its way with him, but I'm again just being a dick. With this particular reprobate, I would like to know what you all think. Please do let me know in the comments down below and drive up the engagement by smashing the like. Thank you.